give us some thoughts on how to achieve the perfect workout for an individual. Mine's going to be different. My is different. So, how do you help a client find the perfect workout for them?
Yeah, so it's kind of what you just said, right? So it's got to be individualized. I mean, that's the first place you got to start with that. So perfect workout is going to be the one that is going to provide you, in that day, in that protocol, a step towards your goals. And so goals have to be first identified. You have to go through some sort of a needs analysis if you really want to figure that out. And that's got a few components that you have to base that from: science, physiology, factors that are realistic that we're trying to do together as goals. But yeah, that workout's going to be a mixture of aerobic, anaerobic exercise, and it's going to have probably a stretching pattern in there or habit included in that too. Now, the time and the frequency and the intensity and the types of lifts that you do, if it's anaerobic exercise or resistance training, all that stuff has to vary and be set up for the person.
Yeah, it's important, you guys hear me say all the time, your recovery time has to match your intensity level. So you need to have enough recovery days in there for whatever intensity level you're using for whatever body parts. But also, I like to vary it. I like to throw in some different exercises. So how often or how long do you wait before you throw some changes? I mean, will you do a similar workout for maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks? And then what happens when you're going to change it? Do you wait 6 weeks? When do you do that?
So the best thing to do is, first, like we're saying, is get baselines, and get where a person is at on different physical and physiological levels, body composition, where their body is with mobility and strength and all these things that we need to consider, postures in there as well. So, but typically most people are going to be on, this protocol, which is weekly, type of a protocol, which includes X amount of days per week. And usually you follow that for 4 to 6 weeks. It varies because what usually happens is someone who is actually a little bit more advanced either has just, can also have, let's say, better anatomy just based on athletics or sport performance stuff they may have done in the past. You may have them on a program which every 4 weeks you're making variations to that program, so the body is always kind of guessing a little bit, and muscle groups don't get, or the muscles themselves don't get, kind of just in this state of waiting or hoping that something changes. Make the changes before they get there, keep them guessing. So that's a 4 week pattern usually for those kind of people. And then how you change it, and again, 6 weeks for people who probably don't have that experience and their bodies are not, on a physical level, have as much muscle or haven't done exercise as much as that other group of people. So, but yeah, how you make the modifications or the variations all depends on what you experienced in that 4 week process. So you may do in that 4 week process work that is mostly going to be for, let's say, posterior chain more so than anterior, correcting posture stuff and balancing out their anatomy using, their back muscles to kind of pull shoulders in the right places and, let's say core work. And then that might go for that 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the person. And you come back and at that time, again, do an evaluation, figure out where person is at that time, and then, create protocol going forward. And it's always going to be kind of like a cycle. Like you focus on certain things for a period of time. And then as you come back around to those things, you'll realize, that you kind of keep kind of going through this cycle, so to speak, of working and doing what I call priority training on certain muscle groups to get them in the shape they need to be in for your anatomy.
That's great input. Thank you, Jesse.